Hello, welcome to Bitten. This is our mental health series Bite Back, where we talk to people about their empowering mental health journeys to hopefully inspire other people who might be struggling. Please give us a follow at We Are Bitten on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel Bitten. Thanks a million for watching and see you soon. Hey Kirsty, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good,
okay?
thank you. Yeah, very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Today you're going to talk to us a bit about coping with depression throughout your life.
I really wanted to talk about depression today because it's such a big thing, and I just want to talk about it and help others really. So I guess I've always had depression. It started when I was a child. I always felt sort of very sad, but I also had a happy spirit as well. So I was always kind of a bit of a joker, having a laugh, but inside I had a real darkness. And I guess for me, so our mother left us when I was 3. So and my dad brought us up with my stepmom. So we had a good upbringing and everything. But I guess there was always questions relating to my childhood, and all this sadness and questions of why did she leave, and I guess abandonment issues really as well. So yes, I always had that underlining depression, if you like. I didn't know it was depression. I don't think you do when you're kids, because we're strong as kids, so even though you might feel the way you do, we're running around, we're having fun, so we don't actually think too hardly about it. But anyway, I always felt I had this depression and sadness and questions really. So that was my childhood really. And then when I turned 18, I got into serious clubbing, which we all did, but it was, yeah, I'd say serious clubbing. I mean, I used to sort of travel up to London and go out all the big nights out, and that sort of, then I moved to London, and so clubbing was a really big thing in my life, which I found great because it took my mind off how I was feeling. So I was in a bubble, if you like, of feeling great.
And when you were going out, do you think that were you going out like every night of the week?
No, it wasn't as bad as that. It was every weekend. But it was every weekend, and it was a lot of partying, a lot of drinking and everything else, excess partying. So, it literally just took its toll on me, for many, many, many years.
Okay, so it was a number of years. And do you think you were kind of using that lifestyle as a way of disguising your underlying depression?
I think so. Subconsciously, yes. Because again, I didn't think about depression. All I knew is I had this depression throughout my whole life. I mean, when I say clubbing, I clubbed till I was about 37. So it was a good few years of just, hiding myself, if you like, and just, when's the next weekend coming? And so I guess, I realized it was a problem when I finally decided to stop clubbing. And I'd kind of had enough. And I thought, gosh, I really need to live in the real world here and stop clubbing. So when I stopped clubbing, that's when all my issues came flooding in, and I realized then that I had really, really bad depression, really bad. It really, really hit me.
Sorry, I was just going to say, so when you were clubbing and you had this certain lifestyle, were you able to I know that you've got a really successful career, so were you able to kind of have this career while you were doing that, or is that something that's happened later in life that you've got this career?
Yeah, I've always been career minded and driven. That's the thing. So even though I had this depression, I've always had the skill and strength to cover it up, if you like, and put a smile on my face and be strong. Always managed to. So I was lucky and grateful for that really, because I was always lucky to hide it well and have a smile on my face and joke and laugh, and sort of two sides really. But underneath, at times I was dying. So in a way, I am so grateful for that. Yeah. And so when I did eventually tell everybody I had depression, people were so shocked, like, how can you have depression? You're strong, you're happy, you're always smiling, so, but it always happens to the strongest people, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so when you stopped partying, you were 37 and you were like, I've got this depression, and did it hit you just like that, or did you know throughout all those years that it was niggling, it was there, but you just didn't think it was kind of pushed to the side?
I think so, yeah. I always felt niggles and I always felt it, but I didn't think too deeply about it. I guess because I was in denial and I let the partying take over. So when I did stop partying and it all came hitting me, basically, I started having insomnia, really bad insomnia. So, I wouldn't get to sleep till 5 a.m. Just couldn't sleep. My, wide awake, thinking, worrying. And that became a problem because then I started taking sleeping tablets, and I was like a zombie for work, still carrying on strong, I can get through this. Then it was the end of my relationship as well. I started having a lot of heart palpitations at night, and it would, sort of wake me up, and I think I was having a heart attack. It was all this sort of anxiety that was just starting to attack me, really. And then what else? I had really vivid dreams. I started getting neck problems, back problems, basically just everything felt a mess. And depression really, really hit me in a big way.
Yeah, it's funny that you say about back problems and heart palpitations, because I think not many people know that one of the symptoms of depression is pain, back pain,
Yes.
headaches, stomach problems.
Yes.
And that can be a sign of depression that nobody actually realizes. Obviously, it can be signs of other sinister things, but yeah, definitely depression can be a headache, constant backache, insomnia, like you said. So all these things started happening to you. What was the turning point? When did you think, right, I need to tell somebody, I need to go and see my GP, I need to get some help?
Okay, so I had a turning point, and then there was a massive catalyst as well, which I'd like to tell you about. But the turning point for me was, so I got into a really fabulous job as a personal stylist, fabulous company, and I started to work. That was then the end of my relationship. So then, I was sort of still feeling this depression. And then sort of years into that job, everything was just building up. My illnesses, everything was, my non-sleeping, it was just all really building up. And then I just had a bit of a mini breakdown one day on the shop floor. I couldn't do it. I just stood there, and I just ran to the toilet, and I left the building. I just couldn't handle it anymore. So that was the turning point. And I thought, right, okay, I really need to get some help here. I've got some serious problems. And actually called my brother at that point. He came and collected me, bless him. So I had this mini breakdown, if you like, and actually I started running. And running was my life savior at the time. It just got me feeling positive, got the adrenaline running. I started feeling healthier, stronger. Actually, that was a real game changer, if you like. So that was that. And I also then decided to get therapy. I just asked for help. I got therapy, started having therapy, which was incredible. And it really made me understand what I was going through, my issues, my past. It opens up your past, and makes you understand what's happened, and you can forgive it, really, and kind of move on a bit, more from that.
When you talk about therapy, how did you get your therapy? Was it private? And what kind of therapy was it?
So I think I had all different types of therapy to start with. I think I'd had a couple of counselling sessions as well from the NHS, which is great also for someone that hasn't got any money. And I highly recommend that. You do have to wait, I think, 6 weeks till you see anyone, but it wasn't enough for me. So I just searched in my area and realised actually I needed to invest money into this. It's my health. I haven't got much choice. I need to do this. So I invested money and met this amazing woman who is quite spiritual as well, and she really, really helped me. I had her for a good few years. And I highly recommend therapy for everyone to start with. It's a good starting point. But as well as that, I did a lot of things to help myself. Self-help, if you like, I'd highly recommend that as well. So not just therapy, but reading books, listening to speakers, influential speakers, people that have been through depression. It's a great place to start, and it's comforting as well. You can read that. every day, or, you know, when you go to bed or whatever. And these are all the things I did for 10 years. I did this self-help for 10 years. And so I kind of then started becoming a bit of an expert on it, you know, but it kind of really, really, helped me and turn my life around. Yeah.
So it's a mixture of NHS and private, and you had that for 10 years. Were you able to work at the time? So you said that obviously you had this kind of breakdown, panic attack type scenario at work, and you left the building. When were you able to go back into work after this, I guess, traumatic experience that you had?
So I guess I took sort of 3 months off here, went back to work, then I needed another 3 months. So I had like 6 months in total. But then after that, I became really strong, mentally much stronger. So I was able to go back full time. But of course, it doesn't go away. You know, I still had these problems and these issues, but it's just that I had them now, the coping mechanisms to get me through it, if you like. So I was able to work and you know, do all these things to help myself as well. But so, you know, all of these things are fantastic, you know, self-help, reading books, listening to people, getting therapy, talking to people you can trust, all these things really, really work. But actually, there's something deeper inside me that really needed healing. And so anyway, I was working. I had actually a different time. I had my own business in a market selling vintage clothing. It was super gorgeous. I was living the dream. It was amazing. And I came across this lady who was giving treatments, energy treatments, and it was a really strange shushing noise. And I thought, gosh, what's that? And it literally drew me to it. And so it was an acupressure treatment, head to toe, but they used this sound vibration from the breath. And I had one, and I had a few actually, and it was really, really incredible. I thought, oh, this is really, really nice, you know. But because I was doing a lot of stuff to help myself anyway, it was just kind of like an added thing, really. But then I went on holiday and came back from holiday, and then I hadn't had a treatment for a good few weeks, and suddenly depression really hit me again. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go again. So I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to go back and have one of those treatments. So went back, had a treatment, and I'm not joking, literally it brought my energy levels right up, like incredible. So for me, that I would say that was the catalyst in my life in really changing everything about me. So it's, for me, it's about, you know, energy healing, changing your energy and raising your energy vibration. And that's what these treatments do, basically. So I've been having those since sort of 2012, and they're a part of my life, everyday life, really. And I go to a centre in Oxford Circus called Jungshim, and they're a practice, if you like, and they offer these treatments, and they also do energy classes. It's like a form of Tai Chi and chanting, which is incredible as well. So these are all things that I have in my daily life, which are the things that really, really keep me feeling good and healthy. So yeah.
That sounds incredible. Can you give like an example of how it made you feel the first time you had it? Like what is the kind of sensation that it gives you? You said that you automatically felt uplifted, but what did it feel like?
When I had a real connection to the treatments, because it does take a bit of a time to get used to your energy system. Gosh, how did it feel? So it re-energizes you. It makes you feel absolutely re-energized. And what it does do is it clears your negative mind. So if you've got, you know, depression is often about, you know, a negative mind. So yeah, what that will do is lift you and clear that mind. So for me, it was like, oh, it was just incredible, that feeling of just feeling peace in my mind and peace in my soul, really, you know. So yeah, it was just incredible.
And what's the treatment called? What's its actual name? If someone wanted to look at this particular treatment.
Sure. Well, it's so it's South Korean, and it's a key energy treatment, and the company is Jungshim. So, but I can give all those details another time, you know, if anyone needs it. But yeah, I just highly recommend it. It works on your energy points, and so through the negative mind, it creates blockages in the energy system. So what the treatment does is clear the energy blockages, so the energy will just flow through you like a running river, if you like, in order to make you feel healthy. So it's really particularly good for people, I mean, with any illness, but particularly great if you've got anxiety and depression. So yeah.
And is it expensive, or is it a kind of similar price to private therapy?
I mean, for me, it's not expensive because it's an investment, and I see that's what's important. But you can become a member, and it's £50 a month, so it would be the same as a gym. And then the treatments would then be half price. So you're looking at the sort of first level of treatments are £50. So it'd be £50 for a treatment, or half price if you're a member. So for some people that might sound a lot of money, but it depends, you know, if you want to invest in healing, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I might have a look at that, because that does sound great. I mean, even to have a mixture of different types of therapy, I think is good.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I forgot to mention that I actually give the treatments. Again, it's just been incredible because, you know, not only am I healing myself, I'm helping others. So that's become another major part of my life, is helping other people. Because, you know, it helps you as well, because it's the emphasis is less on you and more about others.
The other question I had was, you know, you found something that really works for you, which is incredible, but do you still have those days, which I think most people do, where you know, getting out of bed is a challenge? And we actually spoke about it before we started recording, but I think you said that you had a bit of a difficult day yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course, I do still have difficult days. They're less and few, you know, they're less of them, much less of them. And when they happen, you know, I am more in control of them. I just sort of observe it more rather than let it overwhelm me. And, you know, I've just got all the tools now to help me when I do have those dark days. But I think it's good to just be kind to yourself when you have those days, and give yourself a lot of self-love, and, you know, have fun, laugh. Yeah.
And sorry, just to go back a tiny bit, you know, you said that, I guess, the trauma from your mum leaving, you think might have been the trigger to your underlying depression. Did you ever get to the bottom of that and kind of heal yourself from that trauma, or is that something that you've just learned to deal with? Like, how do you think that you've managed to move on from that?
So I think, I accepted what happened. I think accepting and understanding and forgiving your past is a big thing. I now speak to my real mum now, and so by doing that and getting to know her later on in my life, I met her, you know, when I was sort of 40. I understand more now about depression, and I realized that actually depression is in our family. You know, she had depression all her life, and so did my nan, and so it's actually in the family. So these things can get passed on. You know, we have two things in life. We have our own things that happen to us as a child. You know, some people have a very bad childhood, things happen, and that's their trauma. So you have that which you can look at and mend and forgive, but we also have trauma that's passed down to us within our family through ancestors, if you like, you know. So so I realized that, and actually there's things you can do for that as well. The centre that I belong to, they do what's called a family healing, which I've done as well, which has really, really changed my life, and it's all about just healing the energy of your family. So it's been amazing.
That's incredible, because I think the thing that upsets me the most is that, because it's in my family as well, my mum, my grandmother, and probably and so on and so on and so on. But back then, you know, especially as a woman, if you were depressed, especially, you know, postnatally depressed, it was like, just get on with it. And so you had all these women that were really struggling, and nobody did anything about it. And I think that's why it's so important for people like you and me to talk about and be open about our mental health, because you know, for all those people that have gone before us that have struggled and had pretty crappy lives because they haven't had any help, and it's so tragic. But
It is.
thank
Yeah.
goodness we're all talking about it now, and the
Oh, yeah.
stigma is finally decreasing, and people are more accepting of their own
Mhm.
mental health and other people's, which
Mm.
I think is so important.
Totally. Totally. And I think, when these things all happen to us as a child, if we're shutting our emotions down, deep emotions within us as a child, if we don't express them,
Mm.
that's got to go somewhere. So if we shut those emotions down, at some point it's going to come out in your life. For me, it hit me when I was, 37. For some people it hits them earlier, but yes, so you're so right that now we can express ourselves more, and it's so important to do that, and it's human nature to feel these things, so
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah.
100%. You can't spend your life like you did bottling up
No.
all these different emotions, because
Mm-mm.
just like, if you walk on a leg that is sore and broken, or
Mm,
very painful, at some
mm,
point it's going to collapse. And
yeah.
it's the same with your mental health. If you go on and on and on for years, it's going to happen where, like you at work, you
Mm,
have a breakdown,
mm,
you have a panic
mm,
attack, and then it all.
mhm.
So yeah, I think the importance of these conversations are to make people start talking more about their mental health. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
totally.
And something I ask every time I talk to someone,
Yeah.
what advice would you give to somebody that was struggling with with similar symptoms to what you have? And I think you kind of
Mm,
alluded to it throughout, but
yeah.
if there was one bit of advice that you would give to somebody that was suffering from depression,
Yeah.
what would it be?
I think there's always a process, and I think people are often scared, to um, admit things. So it's, you know, don't be afraid to talk to someone about it that you trust. Do open up about it and get help. Really, just get help for yourself. For sure. That's the starting process. Just get the help to start with, and then there's a whole list of things that I could advise on after that. But definitely, yeah, be kind to yourself. Read self-help, listen to others, speakers, and there's so much you can do.
And then one final question, and I
Yeah.
ask this to everybody. So we talk about mind food
Yeah.
in Bitten. So things that make you feel good could be a quote that you live by, something you do every day to get yourself out of bed and motivated.
I think if you're having a bad day, I think for me, I don't lie in bed. So I just get up straight away, have a shower, get dressed, as if, even if I haven't got anything organized that day, I do all of that to feel like I am doing something for the day. And that literally, once you've had a shower as well, and, putting makeup on, it just makes you instantly feel great, So, and yeah, just do positive things, absolutely. And then get outside, for sure, get outside.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Thank you so much. This has been
Pleasure.
really inspiring for me as well,
Oh,
because you've talked about things that I didn't know, which I'm definitely
oh,
going to look
wow.
at.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I feel like we have similar experiences, so it's quite nice to talk about how you've
Yeah.
kind of dealt with them.
Yeah. Thank you so
And
much.
yeah, I wish you all the best.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me on.